Essentially, when we're dealing with a slurry tank incident, we're dealing with three main gases involved in the effluent, which are released when slurry is agitated prior to spreading. And those gases are mainly methane, which is the commonest greenhouse gas on the planet, and which cows are very good at producing. It's lighter than air, so if you're in a confined space, it will actually rise to the top, say, of a tank. It's not toxic, but it can kill by excluding oxygen, so you suffocate. It also has an explosion risk, and certainly in concentrations over 15 to 20% in the atmosphere, it can explode, and that's the same gas that is found in coal mines, fire damp.
That's right. We often see dumps, municipal sites with a flame, and that's a methane flame, I think.
That is correct. It's venting gases that would otherwise accumulate, seep into housing estates through ground and cause an explosion risk. So they vent that, and it can be harnessed to actually produce a heat source for the local area. The next gas is carbon dioxide. Again, it's plentiful. It's in the air that we breathe, and we breathe carbon dioxide out. It's not toxic. In high concentrations, it can make you feel tired, give you a headache, and it kills people by exclusion of oxygen. So there's a suffocation risk. And the final gas involved in slurry instance is hydrogen sulfide, and this is highly toxic. It's as toxic as cyanide gas, which is used in gas chambers in the United States and other places. How does it kill? Well, it kills by stopping the aerobic respiration in the body. So oxygen, even though you're breathing it in, or is not available, the cells switch off and you die. And it's very toxic in concentrations over 500 parts per million. Certainly that's a toxic level, and within 1 or 2 breaths, if you take that on board, it can kill you. And this has been well described in the literature right back to the 1900s.
Hugh, for those of us who are responding to incidents on farms, so say for example in this scenario where we had the brother unknowingly agitated the slurry and the victim was in the shed and became overcome by fumes. What advice is there for those people that come on the scene?
The advice, hard as it is to actually take on board and execute or put that advice into practice, is to stay out. But that is immensely difficult when you have a family member, a friend, a child, someone who is, an hour ago you saw them and they were well. They might be in view. You might be able to say, I can get there. But the point is that, you only need 2 breaths of this stuff and you're down. So people have died standing next to tractors in the open space. So if you go into an enclosed space, such in this scenario, in a shed, the risk is higher and higher. So, stay safe is the take-home message. The best medicine is prevention. So essentially, there's lots of advice, lots of training available through the farm agencies. You should not really get into these situations. Tragically, as we've seen locally and well publicised instance in the north of Ireland, these things happen, and they happen all the time. And I mentioned the 1900s. We still are very slow to learn lessons about safety.